York Giant fans? I got Mr. Baddog in the house. How you doing, Mr. Baddog?
Oh, I am just doing fantastic on this hump day, July 17th. Mom's birthday today. But,
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, Mom.
What is she? Well, you're like 20. So what is she? About 40?
she was 41 when I was 20. Yes. Yeah.
How about this storm today, man?
Oh man, that was nuts. That was crazy, man. I'm driving home, and it's like nothing. Bang, torrential downpour. Nothing. Bang, torrential downpour.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. 8 o'clock. Obviously, we got some news. Just want to say hello to some people in the chat. Lolly's in the chat. City for Real's in the chat. Victor Jimenez in the chat. Chris Senor, Carlos Rodriguez. Thomas, thank you for being here. MH, Bell Batista in the house. Thank you to everybody. Please hit that thumbs up, guys. If you have not done so, go check out Mr. Baddog 7676. Link in the description below. Of course, the big news today, Baddog. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield comes out. And this seems to be a theme now with the Cleveland Browns. Of course, Odell Beckham said a couple of subliminal things. Baker Mayfield, nothing really subliminal about it. He came out and he basically said, without saying the Giants' name, that the Giants fans did not treat Beckham the way he deserved to be treated, and that the Cleveland fans were going to love and coddle him, and, everything's going to work out. Oh, thank you so much for the Super Chat, Dire Giants fan. He says, nice setup, entertain. I appreciate that, my man. But yeah, my thoughts on it real quick. I didn't even get a chance to watch your video. I was so busy at work. But, I mean, it's nonsense. Baker Mayfield, he's clearly taking a shot at the Giants. He's taking a shot at the Giants fans. And it's absolute nonsense. It's an attention grabber. He's trying to come across as the leader, the guy that sticks up for his teammate. That's the way I look at it, I guess. But we're the wrong fan base to take a shot at because it's completely undeserved. Beckham did a lot of things that he deserved criticism. Whether it be the kicking the net, whether it be the boat trip, whether it be bashing Eli to the media. I mean, there's a lot, and he was a distraction. I don't care. The biggest Beckham supporter in the world couldn't deny that. And, we'll see how Baker deals with it if and when Beckham starts acting out over there.
Yeah, like I said, I did a video on it earlier today. Didn't actually plan on doing it, but I know there's a couple guys that were asking my opinion because obviously I'm a huge Sooner fan. Everyone knows I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan. I love Baker. And I get it. Baker Mayfield is a brash, arrogant guy. It's part of his charm to me. I like the fact he doesn't take any crap. I like that he's a stand-up guy and he takes on challenges. He doesn't back down from it. I mean, those are all qualities you want in your quarterback, but he has a tendency to run his mouth a little too much, and he did this at Oklahoma too, and it got him in trouble. I mean, the one day I remember they were playing Kansas, and they were kicking their ass, and he told the fans were riding him, and he said, why don't you just stick to basketball, which kind of made me laugh because Kansas basketball is great, and Kansas football stinks.
Right.
But, he has a tendency to run his mouth. What was kind of interesting to me, not interesting, but what I took umbrage with was, what the hell do you know about the Giants fan base? He knows nothing about the Giants fan base.
Right.
Odell Beckham was our best-selling jersey for years. Now, I'm sorry if Beckham felt a little slighted because we got Saquon Barkley. It's like when you're a kid and you have Christmas and you get the toy that you really wanted, man, and you play with that thing all year. And this is my favorite toy. And then the next Christmas, something else comes out and you get that. All of a sudden, you still like your old toy, but it's like, man, I got an upgrade. Like, I get this shiny new toy I can play. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe Beckham, because he was the man for all those years, 2014 through 2017, he was the man, and then Barkley came in here and took our fan base by storm. Maybe that's when he felt slighted. Maybe he said something to Baker, because I don't know what prompted Baker to even come out with that. But the fact of the matter is, the Giants fans constantly show up. We have the fourth highest attendance in the NFL with a team that's won 8 games in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And like I said, he was the number one selling jersey, and I guarantee you most of those fans, when we were bad, show up to see Odell Beckham. And I don't know where he gets that he wasn't supported or loved here, because there's no doubt that he was. The fans love this guy.
The fans, I'll tell you, we know as YouTubers, I mean, there's still people that defend Odell Beckham for every little thing the guy does. He was very loved. Of course, obviously Pat Trimmer's not going to love you when you're going to the media bashing him. Obviously, Eli Manning, even though Eli Manning said that he liked Odell Beckham, but, in the back of his head, he had to take some offense to some of the things that Odell Beckham said. But, yeah, I completely agree with you, man. And Baker Mayfield, that is part of the charm I like as well. I like that he's not PC. He's this brash guy. He's in your face. He's a leader. But, you know what? He ran his mouth to the wrong fan base today because there's not a better fan base, in my opinion, in the NFL, period, than the New York Giants fan base. So we have the most educated fans. We have the most passionate fans. And we love our football team. And we want what's best for our football team. And that's it, period. End of story. I didn't even make a video on it because, one, I didn't have enough time. But two, I'm going to be honest, I think it's nonsense. I could give two craps what Baker Mayfield says about the New York Giants fans. He doesn't know a thing, like you said. He doesn't know New York. He's never played here.
Doesn't know anything about it.
I could care less what he thinks about my football team. Saquon Barkley is our new toy. He's our leader. He's the guy that we're going to get behind. Beckham, as great of a player as he was never a leader. Ever. Barkley's the guy. Barkley's the guy this team's going to get behind, and he's going to lead us to the promised land.
Yeah, well, like I said in the video, Baker Mayfield, worry about training camp, worry about your fan base, worry about hooking up with Beckham on the football field. Don't worry about our fan base. The Giants and Browns have no connection except for this Odell Beckham thing. We've never had a connection before. Really don't have a connection anyway. But I would get Beckham coming out and saying this if Beckham felt slighted, because Beckham's another outspoken guy. But, I mean, what the hell is Baker Mayfield talking about? Baker Mayfield knows nothing about our franchise, its history, and everything else. You can get that.
No, my chat's frozen. That's why I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. My chat froze. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up on my phone. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I will get to it.
Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, I don't know why Baker Mayfield felt the need to say something. Again, I know he's trying to show Beckham, I got your back, buddy. Don't worry about it. We'll go through it together. But we play the Browns once every 4 years, and there's no history between these teams since the 50s.
Right.
So who gives a damn? I was the same way. I wasn't going to make the video because, again, I was like, who gives a damn?
Oh, wow. Thank you. Now I caught up. Let me get the first one first. I'm pulling it up on my phone now. Thank you so much. John Letourneau, an all-time great subscriber, both of ours. The Entertainer and the Bad Dog. Love your videos, Bad Dog. Yours and Chris's constructive criticism on my Eagles. Wrong. The Eagles fans are the best. I'll say this about, and then we'll get to Smallville. Thank you so much, Smallville. I'll say this about Eagles fans. Obviously, you and me both, we don't like Eagles fans, if we're being completely honest. We like Eagles fans on our page. They treat us well. They're nice to us. But I will say this. They are very, very passionate. I will give them credit for that.
They are.
They may not be my cup of tea, but they are amongst one of the most passionate fan bases in the league.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Smallville, for the... Oh, happy birthday, Smallville. Today is my birthday. This is my gift to you for being such a great YouTuber. Smallville, man, that means the world to me. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
The same birthday as my mom. I told you.
So you and your mom are like born around the same time.
Yeah, it's funny. We're about a week apart, and my wife and my son are 4 days apart. Go figure.
Pretty good stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, man. I think it's complete. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. I could care less about it. I'm focused on training camp. The Giants. What's today? Today's the 17th. So in a week from now,
Monday rookies report.
Monday rookies report, and the 24th is the first official day.
With the thing. Yeah, the Baker Mayfield. Like I said, I felt it was nonsense, but people asked about my opinion. I said, you know what, I'll do a video on it, and I wanted to also show people that it's not, like I said, because I know people probably would have said, well, you would have said something about Beckham. So I said, you know what, the hell with it. It's not just, but you don't go after. I don't give a damn how much I like you as a player. Don't screw with my team.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Goose, for that quick super chat. Yeah, no, I'm with you. If I had the time, I would have made the. And John, thank you so much. Bad Dog, can I get a Stella? I can't even do it.
Absolutely. Stella!
But no, I agree with you. Had I had the time, if I was home, I would have made a video on it. But it's nonsense. I'm done with Beckham. I don't want to make Beckham videos anymore. Not that this was Beckham, but it was related to Beckham. I'm done with him. He's drama. He's off the team. He's not a Giant anymore. We're gonna get to play him next year, and that will be a fun game when we get the opportunity with all the cap space we're gonna have. By the way, something I wanted to touch on. I saw ESPN come out with a power rankings, not for this year, future power rankings for the next 3 years. Really? New York Giants ranked 31st. over the next 3 years. They have $80 million in cap space next year, or whatever it's going to be. They rank them 31st.
Yeah, you mean BSPN.
Yeah, BSPN.
BSPN. That is the most unknowledgeable, biased. It's a garbage network. ESPN is pure trash. Like I said, I don't watch ESPN for anything except for actual games. Their content. I want baseball, I go to MLB Network. I want football, I go to NFL Network. I want basketball, I go to NBA TV. I don't watch ESPN for anything.
ESPN's garbage.
Terrible.
They're entertainment.
Terrible.
That's what they are. They're entertainment.
They're horrible.
And Johnny Morawski, great subscriber of both of ours. Really appreciate that, my man. He says, dilly. I'm drinking coffee. But just want it's Irish coffee. I'll say it's alcohol. Just wanted to say Philadelphia sucks and the Eagles sucks. Bleed big blue. I'm with you, man. I am with you, man. Like we said, we like our Eagles subscribers, but you're never gonna see us wearing an Eagle jersey. That's for sure. Thank you so much, Johnny Morawski, man. But yeah, man, training camp, like we were getting into Monday, rookies report. The 24th first day, and there's gonna be a lot of battles in training camp, and I'm looking forward to the receivers. I'm looking forward to seeing Daniel Jones, of course.
Yes.
And I did that film review. Obviously, we both watched a lot of film on him. I'm excited to see what the kid can do with the pads on. I really am. And he's not going to overtake Eli, but I'm going to say this: if he has a great preseason, he's not going to start no matter what. But if he has a great preseason and Eli starts out 0-2 and looks bad, they might put him in. They might put him in early.
They might. That's why I did the. You got a bunch to get to there, so.
Oh, did I miss?
Oh, there's a couple there. Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, my chat's behind. Oh, there we go. Oh, Kid Blue. Thank you so much, Kid Blue, for the super chat. He says, "What really got me is how much I defended Baker." But I'm with you, Kid Blue. Baddog and me are huge Baker fans. Baddog even more so. He's an Oklahoma fan. I love Baker Mayfield, but he is completely wrong, man. He is completely wrong in this instance. And like I said, I think he's kind of doing it to be like he wants to show that he's got Beckham's back. But he wasn't. There was no reason to do it, Baddog. There was no reason to do it.
No. It came out of left field. Yeah. Why the hell does Baker Mayfield give a damn how Giants fans treated Beckham? Who has nothing to do with them?
Right, exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly. And
let me get with the Browns. Worry about your own damn fan base.
Right.
Worry about winning some games over there. Don't worry about us. We don't play you. We got nothing to do with you. Just you never played here. You've never played against the Giants. What are you talking about? It's nonsensical garbage.
Yeah, and John, thank you so much again. He says, "Bad Dog and the Entertainer, now y'all feel how Eagles fans felt when we were in dark times." Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to tell you this, John. I don't know if you got to see Bad Dog's video. You might not be far away from dark times. Bad Dog, with that cap situation they got over there.
I'll tell you what. Now, I'll say this. My numbers were off. Because Spot Track doesn't roll their cap over, and it doesn't increase cap.
Right.
But that wasn't the point of the video. The point of the video is 11 players are taking up about $150, $170 million. You can't build around that. Now, Eagle fans want to argue with me, saying, you don't know, you're not Howie Roseman, you're not a GM. No, I'm not. But you can't deny the fact that these contracts are backloaded on older players, and you can't move them because you're getting hit with massive dead cap money.
Right. You can only back it up for so long. Yeah. They could only keep backloading these contracts for so long. Eventually, they're going to pay the price.
Because all you're going to do is bring these guys into their middle 30s and pay them $20 million a year.
Right.
I understand what he's doing. He won a Super Bowl. He's trying to keep this roster together, so he's pushing it as far as he can. He sees the window. He's like, we got to get one. That's why my video is boom or bust, because they have to get it because time is running out. Eagle fans don't want to listen to that. There's a lot of Eagle fans that just, how do I say it? They don't know football. They don't understand. They don't understand the cap. They don't get the cap.
I watched Lord Brunson's. I didn't watch his video. I watched his comments today, and he didn't get your video at all. I don't know if he watched it. But Clocks, thank you so much for the super chat. Got to get to a couple of these. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. He says, I'm slowly awakening from hibernation. The beast is getting his wind. Baddog, any chance we can offer Larry the Goat Allen 7 chickens to play left tackle?
You're a pretty decent left tackle now, Clocks. You should be okay.
Oh, and Carlos Rodriguez, thank you so much. Great subscriber of both of ours.
Yes,
he says, we've won 4 Super Bowls without Beckham. We don't need Beckham. Last I checked, the Giants made him famous, not the other way around. The Giants are not going to sell out forever, whether people like it or not.
I can't tell you how many times I've said that exact beginning of that statement. We've won 4 Super Bowls, and Odell Beckham is not a part of any of them. You don't need Odell Beckham to win a Super Bowl. I have said that ad nauseum. You know?
We say it all the time, that the New York Giants have always they've never had a premium wide receiver, a guy that you build the whole team around. They've always had guys that went and they put in the hard work, whether that be Amani Toomer, whether that be Akeem Nicks. They've never had that premium superstar, and they never needed one.
Run and defense. I see Psychopath is in there. He says, by the way, thanks for landing Collins at me, at Mr. Baddog. You are more than welcome, Psychopath. You can have a box safety that couldn't cover my mother, who turned 64 today, by the way, in a phone booth for $84 million. You can have that guy. No picks, no sacks. Quits on the team, got undressed by George Kittle, has to play, and Zach Ertz. Got to play Zach Ertz. I'll be starting Evan Ingram.
He's got to play Evan Ingram. Let's not forget that.
If I have Evan Ingram on my fantasy team this year, I'm starting him both weeks against the Redskins. That's for sure.
Thank you so much. Vodka Drinker with his annual 666 donation.
Yeah.
He says, Baker stepped on Giants' pride, but it's all nice to know that he
had yellow hair.
And yellow hair are all... Odell Beckham. Yeah. Well, Beckham got rid of that yellow hair.
He did. A vodka drinker.
Thank you, vodka drinker.
I gotta say something, vodka drinker. So, last night, I remember you were in my stream Monday, and you mentioned you wanted to see me in a place the next time I did a stream. I did a stream last night. I missed you. Next time I'm there, next time I do a live stream, vodka, make sure you're there. I was in Coney Island last night in front of the Ferris wheel looking for you. I didn't see you.
It was beautiful.
So you were there.
It was gorgeous. I popped in there for a little bit. It was gorgeous.
Right. So vodka drinker, just make sure that next time I do that, I'm gonna be at Coney Island again. I hope to see you there.
But real quick, I mentioned that. What's going on, Jeffrey Abbey? Big great subscriber both. Well, thank you to everybody for tuning in. By the way, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I got it on my phone. Usually it's on here, but it was frozen. Thank you guys for being here. Really do appreciate it. I mentioned Evan Ingram a little bit. I'm gonna make a video on this. Actually, I decided to do it today. When I looked at Evan Ingram's numbers, without Odell Beckham on the team,
they're good.
He is going to have a breakout year. Last year, he had 64 targets for the year. 32 came in the 4 games where Beckham didn't play. So half of his targets came in a 4-game span. Eli is going to target this guy heavily. I think Ingram could have a massive year catching the football. And the other thing I want to say, with the improved offensive line, we all know the liability with Evan Ingram. He can't block. Can't block. With the improved offensive line, though, it's going to make him being on the field easier, right? Because the offensive line should be able to do the job better.
Yes.
Giving them the ability to have a pass-catching tight end out on the field. And I expect a lot of 2 tight end sets. You see that a lot in the Pat Shermer offense.
Especially since they're paying Red Ellison almost $6 million. And one thing I want to say about that, and I did a video about a month ago talking about the 3 Giants that all break out. He's a guy. He was the first guy I mentioned. Also, you had a poll on your community notes about a month ago, maybe a little more. It said who's going to lead the Giants in receiving yards, and I said Evan Ingram because I think Evan Ingram, like you said, could have a huge year. And I just want to see the Giants go back to play action, bang, seam route. It has to work. The linebackers freeze every time they see that ball going there. And they're going to follow Barkley. Because that's going to be everybody's goal. Got to stop Saquon Barkley. Don't worry about anyone else. Can't let Saquon. So the focus is going to be on him. A couple play action pass freeze the linebackers. Ingram's so fast he's behind him, and then he's out in the secondary with that 4.4 speed.
He's a matchup nightmare at the tight end spot. Yeah, he's a matchup nightmare at the tight end spot. Yeah. And I'll tell you, I kind of want Slayton to win that 3 spot because and I don't know if he's going to. Corey Coleman still definitely can, and obviously Latimer, who performed great that last game of the year. We remember Latimer with the one-handed catch against the Cowboys. Yeah. So we'll see how it plays out. But Slayton is a burner, and not that Coleman isn't. But I think the Giants really could use that burner on this team to extend the field because they got the underneath guys with Tate, with Shepard. Even though Shepard, I think, could expand his game a little bit this year. But Ingram's going to be your seam guy, but I think they could use that burner on the outside.
Definitely.
And maybe Slayton is that guy.
Well, that'll be a very interesting thing to watch in camp, is that battle between Slayton Latimer and Corey Coleman, and as well as Benny Fowler. Right? I mean, I don't think Benny Fowler is going to get in there, but I think it's going to come down to Coleman and Darius Slayton. I think those are the guys that I think it's going to come down to. That's definitely the wide receiver. The third receiver slot is going to be a great battle. The cornerback slot. Those are going to be the big things. And then, of course, like you mentioned earlier, Daniel Jones. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this kid play. Now, we all know. I mean, you can get that. You see that.
Yeah, John, thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. He says, Bad Dog and the Entertainer, I am an Eagles fan, even in my afterlife. But being fair, I won another Super Bowl, but I did state the Giants are being overlooked, and we appreciate that. David Ridley in the chat, by the way, great subscriber, man. Really do appreciate you popping in.
Oh, yeah, he comments on all my
He's
stuff.
great. He is a diehard Giants fan, that guy.
And one thing I want to say about him, he understood. He was the one, well, at least he's the one guy that commented. He got my thumbnail today. He understood. He said, I like what you with the thumbnail. I said, you picked up on that. I said, good catch, sir.
I got to look at the thumbnail.
Picked up on exactly what I was doing with that thumbnail.
But John, we know you will definitely be a Eagle fan in the afterlife. But we do appreciate you giving the Giants credit. One of the few Eagle fans. I mean, I was watching One Giant Rebuttal. He did a collab with I forgot the Jake Reynolds, the Eagles YouTuber. He's got us pegged for a 2-14 season. 2-14 season. Give me a break.
He probably has the Eagles going 14-2.
But probably, yeah. We're the Giants are getting no respect anywhere. And I think Jake Reynolds is great. I'm just saying, I think people are sleeping on the Giants, and not that we're a world beater, but 2-14. I mean, it's a little ridiculous.
This is the reason, and I've mentioned this before. The people that are predicting that don't know a damn thing about our team. And they're all younger generation. They're all fantasy football generation. So all they look at is numbers. They don't understand how a football team works. They don't understand how important team chemistry is. They don't understand addition by subtraction. They don't understand that we freed up a ton of cap space by getting rid of Landon Collins. Not that he was in the cap, but if we paid him, he would have hurt our cap. We got rid of the cap for Landon Collins. We got rid of the cap for Olivier Vernon. We got rid of Harrison's money. We're going to get rid of Janoris Jenkins' money. That's why we're in great spots for the cap. We have a young core on defense. And, we're building the offensive line. We have a very young running back. We have a rookie quarterback in the wings. The Giants are doing it right. Nobody wants to see it. Everyone thinks Gettleman's old school. Oh, that's not how you win anymore. You win with the quarterback throwing the ball. No, you don't.
No.
Somebody tried to tell me in the chat or my stream last night, telling me Daniel Jones, if he's not great, then then it's a bust or whatever. And I said, really? I said, so you need an absolutely great quarterback to win? I said, tell me Dak Prescott's a great quarterback.
You don't need a great. You need
in 2 out of 3 years.
You need a great foundation. You don't need a great quarterback. A great foundation will make an okay quarterback great.
Exactly.
A running game, and an offensive line. Thank you so much, Vodka Drinker. Now he comes with the 5-5-5.
Yes.
He says Ingram in a tight slot with a free release is nasty. I agree. Evan Ingram is a matchup nightmare for safeties, for linebackers. I completely agree with that, and I think he could have a big year, especially with this improved offensive line. I don't think 900, 1,000 yards is out of the question at all. I think he could have a big year.
He definitely could.
And I'm looking forward to, like we always say, Eli Manning is at his best when he spreads the ball around. Yeah. And he has a running game.
Here's another one. Sperm Cell says that Daniel Jones is, if he's not great, then he's a bust. So another thing I posed to the people on the stream last night was this today. I say to everybody, all these people knock Eli Manning. Oh, he sucks. Oh, he's overrated. He's not a Hall of Famer. He's terrible. So the guy is top 10 in every major passing category, and he won 2 Super Bowls. But he sucks.
Yeah.
So he sucks, but he accomplished all that. So why does Daniel Jones have to be great for the Giants to succeed?
He doesn't need to.
Eli Manning sucks, and he did all that. Can you imagine if Daniel Jones is average? He'll
be the greatest quarterback ever. I just wanted to say hello to Rudy T. I've been meaning to say hello to him. I saw him write a couple of messages. Love Rudy T. Thank you for popping in. Daniel Jones is, if they set him up properly, there is no reason to think he can't do what Jared Goff does with the Rams, because they have a very similar foundation. Yeah, what Dak Prescott does.
The video, he reminds me of Dak Prescott.
And he reminds me a lot of. I see Prescott. He reminds me even a lot of Alex Smith too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Alex Smith is mobile too.
Yeah, Alex was very mobile, underrated mobility.
those guys don't have the strongest arm.
Yeah.
But they're safe and they don't turn it over.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. People think Jerry Jones. They think Dave Gettleman is some old school guy like running in defense, but Dave Gettleman has gone to the new school because the new school is a young bunch of cornerbacks.
Right.
And we've drafted 4 cornerbacks in the last 2 years. So we have 4 rookie corners. So Dave Gettleman's not as old school as people think, but people, like I said, the fantasy football generation doesn't understand. They look at the name. Olivier Vernon left. Well, that's terrible. You just lost your best pass rusher. Yeah, but we got a top 5 right guard.
We got one of the best offensive linemen in football. And then the other thing I want to say about what you just said, those cornerbacks, and it's not going to be this year. It's going to take a few years for them to develop, right? Between Sam Beal, Julian Love, obviously DeAndre Baker. Those cornerbacks, when they get really good, and they are going to get really good, make no mistake about it, it's going to help the pass rush. It's going to give that pass rush that extra second to get to the quarterback. Coverage sacks. And you're going to see more of that. This is going, in my opinion, and they're all rookies, so obviously I could be wrong, but in my opinion, this is going to be one of the most talented secondaries the Giants have had in a very long time once these guys fully develop.
Completely agree.
And that's going to be the strength of this defense, and it's going to lead to coverage sacks. And Gettleman historically, I say this a lot, Gettleman historically does not like to spend a lot of money in the secondary, because he likes to spend it up in the trenches, whether it be the offensive line, the D tackle, D end, the linebackers, the pass rusher. But by him drafting these guys, they're going to be on cheap salaries, and now he's going to be able to use that free agency money on the positions that he thinks are the most important spots. So I think Gettleman has a plan. I think people have to let him carry it out. We both agreed they shouldn't have taken Daniel Jones, but it can still work.
Yep, definitely can. Yeah, where's Lolly Mack? Her name is Lolly Mack. Dave Gettleman has a plan. So Dave Gettleman has a plan.
I saw her here.
By the way,
we got
135 people in here, so as always, really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for that. Make sure you spike the like. Got 58 likes, got 136 people in here. Now, I'm not Howie Roseman, so I know that doesn't add up.
If you have not done so, by the way, any of my subscribers, please go into the description and sub up Mr. Baddog. We appreciate all you guys for being here. We're going to be doing this show twice a week come preseason football. And we're going to get into it, man. Regular season, we're going to have 2 shows a week. And if you're a Giants fan, you are going to want to be here. This is going to be a very fun season. We've been doing this without anything to talk about. I mean, can you imagine once training camp gets underway, preseason football?
Next week.
It's going to be an absolute blast. And we always take questions from the chat for the last half hour or so, and we'll get to that. I'm going to have you read it today because I got this little phone.
Yeah,
I got it. But thank you so much. Adam, great subscriber, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. But you know what I wanted to talk about briefly? Let's talk about the rest of the division. Let's talk about the NFC East a little bit.
Yeah.
This year, future years, how it's going to break down. Let's start with the Redskins. Redskins draft Dwayne Haskins. Obviously they got Landon Collins. That's going to be a big storyline this year. I still think the Redskins have a good foundation in the set. Well, their offensive line, they're starting Eric Flowers. So that's that. But they
got it. Redskins fans, you better don't start Dwayne Haskins with that guy on your line.
Right.
Don't start him there.
Yeah.
Okay, don't do that to him.
Yeah.
That poor guy. If Eric Flowers is one of your starting tackles or Dwayne Haskins is that poor kid has no shot because he's not mobile.
Right.
He's got no shot. The poor kid's gonna get killed.
Now I'm interested to see if Haskins gets the job to start the season because you've heard that he has a really good chance to be the starter coming out of camp. If it was me, and I say this all the time, and I think you agree, I'd start Keenum. I don't think Haskins is ready. And Chuck Sharp's big Redskin fan seems to think Flowers will be cut. We'll see. But I do like the Redskins' defense a lot. I think it's being overlooked. I think the Eagles and Cowboys obviously have very good defense as well. But we saw it last year. Before the injuries, the Redskins had a really good defense, and they had a really good identity. They were a team that didn't make mistakes with Alex Smith, the quarterback. They jammed the ball down your throat with Adrian Peterson. And if they could get back to that, which who knows if they can, because they don't have the quarterback right now. You don't know what these guys are going to be able to do. Smith is an underrated quarterback, in my opinion, in the NFL. They could be dangerous. I think people are sleeping on the Redskins a little bit.
My biggest issue with the Redskins is obviously the quarterback. Case Keenum stinks,
right?
And Case Keenum's got to learn a whole new system. That's number one.
Right.
If you want to go Dwayne Haskins, this is a kid that had 1 year at Ohio State as a starter.
Right.
And you're throwing him right into the fire. I don't like their wide receiver core at all.
That's
I
a
think
problem.
They lost Jay Crowder, who was probably their best receiver. Josh Doxson's been a flop.
And Jordan Reed if you sneeze on Jordan Reed, he gets hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say Jordan Reed's probably the best receiver, and he's constantly injured.
Right.
They got a good offensive line. They get Darius Geis back, which is a huge piece because he's incredibly talented. They got AP. I think they got the best running back tandem in our division, and they got a good defense. But that quarterback, man,
it's going to come down to the quarterback for them.
And their receivers. So the quarterbacks don't even have anybody to throw to. That's.
They still have Thompson on that team, right? They still have Chris Thompson on that team.
He's hurt too.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
he's there. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They got great run. They got the best.
He's a nice guy out of the backfield that can catch the football. But their defense, I think, is pretty good. Obviously, the Cowboys and the Eagles are the class of the division. We're not going to lie to you. Going in, they're the favorites. And you know what? Let them have the pressure. Let them be the favorites. And maybe we'll come up and surprise them. But the Cowboys, we all know their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is ground and pound with Zeke. When they run the ball 25 times with Zeke, they're going to win football games. And you know what? I think that is why, a large part why Gettleman drafted Dexter Lawrence was because of the Cowboys.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we know when we swept this team, we always say it. Snacks Harrison had a lot to do with that. When you can stuff Zeke, you're going to beat the Cowboys more often than not. And
that beat you.
Yeah, that's the key to beating the Cowboys, but that's a lot easier said than done.
Defenses need to play the Cowboys and the Giants exactly the same.
Right.
You play press coverage, you stuff that box, stop the run, make the receivers win, and make the quarterback beat you.
Right.
Don't give them the underneath crap and let these guys run.
Right.
Don't let Zeke Elliott run the ball. Don't let Saquon run the ball. Don't let Eli Manning complete 4-yard slants to, Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard. Defenses need to play those teams press coverage, and if the quarterback beats you, he beats you.
Right.
Okay? You got to make them win. My thing with the Cowboys is, like I said, I had them winning the division. I did that.
I agree with you. Yeah.
They have the least amount of questions. That's why I give it to them. They have the least amount of questions. They got one of the best offensive lines in the league. They have one of the best running backs in the league. They got a quarterback who I'm not high on, but he doesn't turn the ball over. So that's big. And their defense is probably the best in this division. LVE and Jalen Smith are nasty. DeMarcus Lawrence is one of the best pass rushers in the league. Their secondary is not great, but it's not bad.
Right.
And I just think they're the most complete team. And I feel like I said, there's just the least amount of questions when it comes to the Cowboys. I think they have the least amount of questions in this division. And that's why I think they're not going to go 13-3, but they can go 11-5.
I got them at right around 11-5, and they were a much better offense with Amari Cooper.
Yes.
They were 7-1 with Cooper on the team the last half of the season. So yeah, I'd peg them as the favorite. The Eagles, everybody's saying is the favorite. We'll see, man. I can't wait to see. But I agree with you. I think they have definitely a talented offensive line. I think it's being a little bit overrated. They ranked second, I think, by PFF, the offensive line. I think it's being a little bit overrated.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get this. Their offensive line gave up a lot of sacks last year, a lot of pressures. This is why Carson Wentz gets hurt. They were now granted, their running backs were upgraded. Jordan Howard's better than Josh Adams.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he's a
top 5 running back.
But top 5 on that team.
Yeah.
He's better than Josh Adams.
Right.
Miles Sanders, we don't know what that kid's going to do, but they're a little better running back. But they were one of the worst running teams in the league last year.
Right.
You can't run the ball, and Carson Wentz, listen, they can say, well, he's only missed 8 games in 2 years. Yeah, but it's because this stuff happened at the end of the year. And, he was hurt at the beginning of the year last year. He was hurt at the end of the year last year. There's a big question mark.
Right.
If Carson Wentz gets through the season healthy, Eagles are right there for the division.
Right, of course.
If he's hurt, there's no Nick Foles to fall back on. There's no more security blanket. That's Nate Sudfeld coming in now. That's
right.
Nate Sudfeld. In essence, your third-string quarterback, because that's what he was last year. That's what you're bringing in.
If Wentz goes down, they're
lackluster running game and an okay bunch of receivers. The Eagle fans think somehow.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. With Ertz, I'd say it's a little bit better than okay. Ertz is a very good tight end. When you factor just strictly the wide receiver, I'd agree it's okay. When you factor in Ertz, but no, the Eagles definitely have above average weapons. I think that's also being a little overrated in my opinion. I don't think they're elite weapons like some Eagles fans will tell you. They definitely have above average weapons, and if Wentz can stay healthy, 16 games, the Eagles have just as good of a chance as anybody in the division.
Their secondary's bad, though. They have a bad secondary.
They brought back Darby, which surprised a lot of people. They signed him to a pretty big contract. And if you talk to most Eagle fans that I've talked to, they didn't like Darby. So, it's going to be interesting to see how the division breaks down. We'll see if the Giants can surprise some people. We're going to get into training camp real soon, and I can't wait, man. We're going to have the pads on in a week, and then we're going to start to get some coverage. We're going to have a ton of content up on the page. We're going to have so much to talk about, and preseason's right around the corner.
It is. It's a couple weeks away after it starts. So I think the first game is August 8th, Thursday night. So that's our plan, guys. We will do this show during those games. The first two anyway, because I don't know if you'll get the third and fourth game. But we'll definitely do it through the first two. And then we'll obviously do something at the beginning of the week. We'll recap the game that we just played, talk about the next game, and then, like I said, we won't be doing play-by-play and stuff. We'll be doing the show, but we'll obviously be reacting to the game in the back. And, like you said, next Wednesday when we do the show will be the first day of training camp. So, obviously, we'll have a lot more to talk about football-wise with the New York Giants.
Yeah. But, guys, we're gonna take – it is 10:59. We'll take some questions from the chat. See what you guys got to say. Any questions, keep them Giants related or at least NFC East related. We'll do our best to answer them. We've gone over all the battles, and that's, what we're going to be looking forward to. The offensive line thing's pretty set. I've heard that Pulley could win that center spot. I don't expect it. I think Jalapeno will be the center. And the third wide receiver, the corner, second corner, that's what we're looking at. Slot corner. Those are the battles we're looking at, and that's where the attention's going to be, along with Daniel Jones.
Bobby Woodruff says, "Did you see Mr. Softy today?" He didn't say that, but I figured I would
ask. Just get out of the way. Just get out of the way.
Diehard Giants fan says, "Who will be the best player on the O-line this year?" We're going to agree.
Oh, yeah, Zeitler.
Oh, I was going Will Hernandez.
Well, it could be Will Hernandez. It could be Will Hernandez. I'll say this. Will Hernandez is going to be the most improved player on the offensive line. Was that the question? Was who's going to be the best?
Yes.
I'll go Zeitler, but Hernandez could be, definitely could be.
God, how good are our guards now? You know how good it is that we're going to have a push up the freaking middle where these guards can open a hole and he can run off guard between the guard and the boom.
If you could give Barkley holes up the middle,
over.
It's going to be a field day. It is going to be a field day. And once again, anybody that has not done so, please subscribe to Mr. Bear. They're putting the link in there. I don't even got to say it.
I appreciate
Go over there and subscribe to him. Go. He's got a 9 out of 10 head. I say it all the
time. Jeffrey Abbey says, which receiver will reach 1,000 yards?
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to say at least 2 out of those 3 because I think they're going to spread it around. I don't think any of these guys are going to have 1,300 yards. 1,400 yards, but I think both Shepard and Tate are fully capable of 1,000, and I think Ingram's capable. I'm not picking it. I'm not going to predict that, but it's possible all 3 of them could get right around 1,000. Maybe one gets like 920, one gets like 1,018, but the 3 collectively, I think, are going to be around 3,000 yards, and right between 800 and 1,100 yards, all 3 of them.
Yeah, I agree. Do you guys think Baker Mayfield can make Odell Beckham Jr. a cannoli wide receiver? We discuss this every week. No, Baker is not Italian. He does bake though. They can make him a birthday cake wide receiver. Not a cannoli.
Maybe a cupcake.
Maybe a cupcake. Maybe banana bread.
Right.
Something like that.
Let's see what we got here. Will we see?
Did you? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know you.
Oh no, go ahead. No, you read.
Oh, I was just gonna say. Radical Sim says, "Will we see Will we see more 3 tight end sets? Are the Giants suddenly a run first play action offense?" Radical. That's what they should be.
That's what they will be.
3 tight end sets. We'll see with Simonson, Ellison, and Ingram, but we definitely should be run first play action. That's what the Giants are built on. And that's why they took Daniel. I'm telling you right now. That's what they took Daniel Jones for.
The one thing I'm gonna say. I don't know if Ellison's going to be on this team. I don't think that he might not be this year. I'm not going to rule it out. They've said that he could potentially be cut because C.J. Conrad has looked great, and Simonson. So it's possible they could use that money in season. So I wouldn't be shocked if they cut him. I'm not predicting it, but I wouldn't be shocked. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Frost Eclipse says, who wins the kick and punt return spot? That is a great question because we say this all the time. Corey Coleman, last 8 games last year, was fantastic.
Yeah.
But from what you've been hearing, he's not going to be the favorite this year.
This is how I would do it. I would have Coleman return kickoffs and Peppers return punts.
They might do that. They definitely could do that.
I would do it.
And Peppers, I've seen highlights, is definitely explosive in the punt return game. Thank you so much
I
for
wanted
the
to go back to the Red Ellison thing real quick. What's his cap hit?
It's only $1 million. It's only about $1 million.
Oh, it is. So it's the same.
It's about $5 million in savings.
When I did the whole thing about our projected cap, where I figure Ellison's definitely going next year. Janoris Jenkins is going next year. Whether we trade him this year or cut him next year, he's gone because it's only going to cost us $3 million as opposed to $14 million. He's gone. Kareem Martin's going to be gone, and probably Alco will trade. That's about $26 million in cap space we're saving right there.
Plus the extra 10 that'll probably be on the cap.
So the Giants are going to be about $80 or $90 million in cap space next year.
Let's see.
You believe in Ryan? Oh, so you believe in Ryan Finley? Oh, he must. Chuck's not talking to us. I was gonna say what?
Yeah, no, I agree with you though. I think we're gonna have at least $80 million to spend next offseason, and hopefully they spend it right, not like last time on aged veterans. You get some younger talent in here, and you fill in some of those holes. I think they'll spend some maybe on the safety spot, on the right tackle position, middle linebacker certainly a possibility. Bobby Wagner's gonna be on the open market. He'll probably be very highly sought after.
Yep. Jadavian Clowney as well.
Yeah.
AMG Sam says, if you can bring back one player on offense and defense all time, who would you bring back? Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor and Tiki Barber.
I would you're not bringing Tiki Barber.
A split backfield of Tiki and Barkley.
For me, obviously, Lawrence.
Most underrated running back ever.
For me, it would obviously be Lawrence Taylor on the defensive end. For this specific team, I can't say Tiki Barber because of Saquon Barkley. So that would be a tough one. Maybe Burris. I think Burris would fit this team really nicely. A tall, 6'5" wide receiver. I'd go Burris. Why not?
Burris.
Maybe Bavaro. Bring some toughness.
Yeah, Bavaro would definitely bring the toughness.
As long as Burris doesn't shoot himself, though.
Yeah, Bavaro was the man. When he was healthy, he was some toughness. That's and he could block like a son of a bitch. He was one of the best blocking tight ends we've ever had.
Yeah,
that's for sure. So I can see it. I would just love to see it a nice. Listen, we had thunder and lightning, even though thunder sucked ass. That was one day.
Yeah,
just had lightning, but. You would have a storm. You would have everything in there. You'd have a hurricane, a tornado, thunder, those two guys together, forget it.
Oh, God. I mean, Tiki Barber is one of the most, and he deserves the underappreciation. Let's be fair, what he did after he left, but he is one of the more underappreciated players in not just New York Giants history, NFL history. There was a 3 or 4 year stretch where he was as good as any running back in the league.
Listen, he holds the all-time Giants record with 1,860 yards rushing. And his last 2 seasons, if people forget that this guy played 7 seasons as a starter. That's it. He had over 10,000 yards rushing. He averaged almost 5 yards a carry. Right. He had over 5,500 yards receiving.
He's an animal.
And he had 3,552 yards, or over 3,500 yards his last 2 seasons. Okay?
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Right. I named my dog Tiki for a reason.
Hey,
okay?
I've made the argument. I'm not going to get into this. It's another video. It's another thing to trigger Cowboys fans because I do it well, and I trigger Eagle fans. I really trigger Eagle fans. I just do that in my sleep. I will make a video sometime, probably not soon because we're going to be talking about the Giants. Right. Tiki Barber is better than Emmitt Smith. I don't give a damn what anybody says.
I get the argument. That's for damn sure. Emmitt Smith had the best offensive line in the history of the sport. Not to say Tiki Barber didn't have a good one, but not near the same level. And Tiki Barber, unbelievable pass catch. So let's not forget that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's take a couple more questions there. Bad Dog, pick one out. Guys, ask you questions. Go ahead.
Let's see. Hey, Bad Dog, which receiver do you think is going to be very important for the New York Giants? I think Golden Tate, says Angel Rodriguez. Angel, I think they're all important. I think because there isn't a standout receiver on here, they all have to do their job.
Right.
But I like what Chris said earlier. Our outside receiver is going to be key because we need that guy that can stretch the field and make the play down the field to open up our offense underneath and open up the running game.
Yeah.
So I agree with Chris. Whether that's Corey Coleman or Darius Slayton or Cody Latimer, I think that's probably the most important receiver as far as that goes.
And that's the bread and butter to this Pat Shurmur offense is the play action. And Golden Tate's going to fit very nicely with those play action rollouts, those 5-yard routes across the middle. But it's going to make his job a lot easier if you could have that guy that could stretch the field. And they could certainly use that. They could use that burner. And Slayton might might fit the bill. That would make this offense so dangerous. When you could throw it to Barkley coming out of the backfield, when you have Tate, who's arguably one of the top 5 slot receivers in football, Shepard's talented, Ingram in the seam, and then you have a burner on the outside. You got something cooking on offense.
I don't know why people are so down on the Giants. I don't get it. Again, we're not going 12-4.
Right.
Okay? We're not going 11-5. But 2014, what the hell? I'm sorry, if you think the Giants are going 2-4, like some guy said to me last night, the Giants go 1-15. I said, I don't even bet, but I'll bet you anything you want they don't go 1-15.
Saquon Barkley's going to win 3 or 4 games by himself.
He did against the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on, King Trizzy? Thank you for popping in, buddy.
Dire Giants fan said, which wide receiver will be better off for the long routes this season? That's kind of what we were just talking about. That's the battle.
That's what training camp's all about, is finding that guy that could be the guy that's good on the deep routes. But Latimer could also be very valuable too. They could use a tall wide receiver too. They don't really have one of those other than Evan Ingram. But it's going to be interesting. Fowler, to me, even though they've said Fowler has looked really good in OTAs, in mandatory minicamps, I think he's a good receiver, but he's more of a slot guy. They kind of already have that. So
yes.
I don't see how he is going to crack any significant playing time.
I don't think he's in the mix. I'm going to answer John Letourneau's. I'm going to ask his question, and I want to ask you something because there's something I've heard, but this kind of ties into it. He says, Bad Dog and Entertainer, wouldn't it be smart to get Jones to start since he can run the play action better than Eli Manning? I don't know if he can run the play action better than Eli Manning. He can run an RPO better than Eli Manning because he's mobile.
Right.
This is my question to you, Chris, because I've heard this, and somebody brought this up to me the other night, and I don't know how I like it or don't like it, so I want your opinion on this.
Yeah.
So there is talk about Daniel Jones coming in like inside the 5 and them kind of splitting carries. Somebody said to me, would you do him like Taysom Hill? Might have been Jedi. I don't know. Would you do him like Taysom Hill? I said, I don't really want to do that, but then I started thinking 3rd and goal from the 2.
But before you go, and I like your thinking. Yeah. They brought in a guy that potentially they could crack. I keep forgetting the guy's name. The quarterback out of Syracuse that could potentially do that exact thing. So why risk hurting Daniel Jones?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot the guy's name. I don't know if he's going to make the 53-man roster. Somebody in the chat will say it. But they said he could mimic.
Is that Chris Slayton?
No. It's a quarterback. They said that he could mimic what Taysom Hill did for the Saints. And doing that exact role. So if it was me and I'm the coach, I'm not risking Daniel Jones for something like that. But they may have that element in their offense if this guy makes the roster.
But is it? I mean, but is
Eric Dungy? There it is, Eric Dungy.
Okay, but is it really risking him if you're going to have him run that kind of offense in the future?
No, I get what you're saying, but why even bring him in? Yeah, I guess you're right, and he's a threat to throw. So I guess you're right. But if Dungy's going to be on the roster, and we'll see if he makes it. Why do you have him on the roster if you're not going to use him in that situation?
I mean, there's 5 quarterbacks here. Loletta's gone.
Yeah.
They signed Alex Tanney. So, I mean, are they going to carry 3 quarterbacks?
Well, I don't think they're really looking at Dungy as a quarterback. Just like the Saints, I don't know. They look at him kind of as a jack of all trades type player. That they said that he might play some tight end. He could play on the RPO situation. So he's kind of like a jack of all trades player, like a Taysom Hill.
Dire Giants fan says, should Daniel Jones start all 4 preseason games? No, Eli Manning's got to play because you have to see what the hell he can do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and it's a new offense. I mean, you got Golden Tate. You got to get accustomed to the new offense, a new offensive line. You got to. Yeah, no, Eli Manning's going to start every game, but Daniel Jones will get.
Well, he won't start game 1. I can't imagine unless he does a series.
Yeah, he'll get a series. 4. He'll get a series.
Yeah, he won't start week 4. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. He won't start the last.
You don't think he'll get a series last week?
In game 4, no. I don't think any of them play. I think that's all the guys that are playing for their jobs playing in game 4.
Yeah, especially Eli, a veteran. Yeah,
Eli will sit. Jones will sit. That'll be your Eric Dungy. That'll be your Kylo Loletta. Alex Tanney, those guys will be your quarterback. That'll be your Rod Smith. Will be running, and whatever the hell else we got, like 5th string running back.
That's another thing we didn't talk about. The backup running back position, how they're going to utilize that. Obviously, we think Gallman's probably the favorite, but Perkins is back, and you got Rod Smith, who could potentially be used in those third. Why did they sign the guy if they're not going to use him, right? So he could potentially be what we thought Stewart could have been last year in those third and short situations. So we'll see. That'll be another little interesting thing to look at in training camp.
Right.
Not a stupid question at all, Dire Giants fan. Nothing's a stupid question. What do you think about Reggie White Jr.? Angel Rodriguez, you heard a lot about Reggie White Jr., the wide receiver out of Monmouth. And Monmouth has produced really good wide receivers over the last few years. Miles Austin, we all know him, and the guy on the Patriots, Chris Hogan. Both of them went to that university. A lot of people liked him, but I heard nothing about him in OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Very little, and I can't see how. I mean, maybe he could crack the roster, but I can't see him getting any significant role. I think there's way too many guys ahead of him on the depth chart, unless somebody completely bombs or gets hurt.
Right. Yeah. You guys prefer Gallman or Perkins? I prefer Gallman. I think Wayne Gallman is, I say it all the time, I think he's a very, very serviceable backup. He can run. He can catch. He's elusive. He can block. And he finishes his runs like Ahmad Bradshaw. He's a bigger guy than you would think, but he finishes his runs. He doesn't just go down. He pushes the pile forward. So I think that he's better. I don't know if Perkins makes his team. They brought in Rod Smith. He's more of a short yardage back. I really don't know what Perkins' role would be on this team, unless like somebody got hurt. I don't see where Perkins fits in here. I agree with you.
I mean, maybe Perkins cracks the team, but I think Gallman is the backup running back 100%. I think we'll see, but I'm like you. I was surprised. We said this in a couple of weeks ago. I was surprised that Gallman's yards per carry was 3.5 last year, because when I watched him play, he always seemed to get positive yardage. He always seemed to push the pile forward. I like Gallman as a backup running back. I do.
Bad O-line.
Now, he does have some fumbling issues. I will say that, which you don't want. Afghanistan just asked a question there. He said, what will be the Giants' record against the Redskins next season? Can we sweep them? I'll say this, Afghanistan. I'll say this, and Bad Dog. If the Giants want any chance to make the playoffs this year, they have to sweep them, in my opinion.
There's one team in this division we can sweep. It is them.
And I'm not saying we're even better than them, but if we want a chance to make the playoffs, got to sweep them. You got to, because you're not sweeping the Cowboys, you're not sweeping the Eagles.
Right, we match up well with Washington.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. It's like the Eagles match up well with us. For whatever we just find a way. We just beat Washington at least once a year. Washington in the last 16 years has beaten us 8 times. They're 8-24 against us in the last 16 years. They cannot beat us.
Right.
It's like we can't beat the Eagles. It is very strange how that whole thing works. But I think we split with the Redskins.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say we split as well. And that is going to be a huge game early in the season. The Giants have a lot of must-win games early in the season. I think the Bills game at home is a must-win if you want to be have any chance at the playoffs. Got to win the game at home against the Bills. Got to win the game at home against the Redskins early in the year.
Absolutely.
And the Bucs in Tampa. I don't care. You got to win that game.
Yep, got to win those games.
So they got to win those games. They got to find a way. They got to find a way. At least 2 out of those 3 early on.
Yeah, definitely. And especially if they find a way to upset Dallas. No letdown.
Let me ask you this. If we beat Dallas, and that's a huge if, because it's especially it being in Dallas. And we obviously respect Dallas. We got them winning the division.
Yes.
If we ever beat Dallas week 1, you got to start thinking this team's got a shot to go to the playoffs. I know it's only 1-0. I know it's way too early to get excited. But if we ever did win that opening game, we're gonna have a completely different outlook on the season.
Yeah, as I said, this team is young.
Right.
This team needs to build a winning culture. This team figures out how to win a big divisional game against a proverbial favorite in the NFC to make a run at the whole thing. They find a way to win that game on the road as a young team. That will give them some confidence. And again, they can't if they win that game, which is like you said, it's a huge if, because
I'm not expecting
a touchdown underdog.
Yeah.
They can't lose to the Bills. You
can't have a letdown. Yeah.
Beat Dallas and then go in there, overcut, and lose to the Bills.
Right.
You at that point you have to beat the Bills. But yes, if you're good enough to go into Dallas and beat one of the best teams in the NFC, then you start thinking to yourself, and everybody else starts thinking, well, oh shit, how did the Giants just do that?
Right.
Maybe the Giants are better than we thought. And the Giants might start thinking, we know we can do this.
Yeah.
We beat them, we can beat anybody. It's what happened in 2007 when we played the Patriots, last game of the season. The Patriots are trying because they wanted to go 16-0. Giants lost the game 38-35, but they were up 34-22 in the third quarter, and they played them very tough and said, we just played the best team in the league, tougher than anybody did all year. We got a shot at this thing. They did it in 2011 when they played the undefeated Packers, and we were mired right around 500. The Packers beat us on some freaking BS call in the end zone.
I was at that game.
It was 38-35.
I was at that game. I'll say this, in a losing effort, and by the way, thank you so much for the Super Chat, City, for really do appreciate that. In a losing effort, that's probably one of the best games I've ever been to live. That game was ridiculous. Back and forth, 73. Oh, we should have won that game. But, just like you said, that game, that loss,
Turn it around.
turned the season around.
And it's the same exact score, 38-35 loss.
Yeah.
So if the I think that even if the Giants go into Dallas and play them very tough and have a chance where they say, okay, this is our first game as a young team. A lot of guys learning the system for the first time. They say, we just played one of the best teams in the NFC, tooth and nail, and lost to Tier 1. We can play with anybody.
Right.
I think even a close loss helps this team. I don't want a close loss.
And like you said, momentum. With the early schedule, the way it is, if we ever beat Dallas, and I don't want to get too optimistic. I'm not expecting. I want to keep reiterating that. But if we ever beat Dallas, you got Buffalo next. Then you got Tampa. Then you got Washington.
Could be 4-0.
I mean, and then at that point, you're starting to get some confidence building. You got the Vikings at home. Maybe we could beat these guys with 4-0. Not that we're saying this is going to happen. I don't want anybody to say, but that that win in Dallas can change the whole outlook, not just for the fans, but for the team itself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. They have a lot more winnable games on their schedule at the beginning of the season, unlike last year. It was a complete opposite. We had a gauntlet of impossible teams to beat to start the first 8 games.
Thank you so much, David Bigelow, for the Super Chat. Great question. I actually did a poll on this a couple weeks ago. Your pick for the team leader in sacks. I think you said Lorenzo Carter. And
you said Marcus Golden.
And I said Marcus Golden. But I think it could be the rookie, too, the X-Man. But I think those are the two favorites. I think Golden and Lorenzo Carter. I think most people would pick Lorenzo Carter. The only reason I pick Golden is because he's more of a veteran. They say he's healthy. He's played in this system before, and he's thrived in it. But Lorenzo Carter has all the ability to be a double-digit sack guy this year.
Yeah, I think he could get 11 sacks.
Yeah,
I think he could get between 9 and 11 sacks this year.
That'd be great.
It'd be huge for us.
Yeah. I think we had like 9 sacks at the halfway point last year.
Oh, God, it was awful.
Oh, thank you so much.
We were dead last in sacks at the bye. We had 10 sacks in 8 games.
Yeah, and then we turned it around.
You know who didn't have one of those sacks? Landon Collins.
Thank you so much, City, for really says, does Barkley finish with the most total yards? Well, last year he led the league in scrimmage yards, and there's no reason to think he won't this year. I think he's going to get fed even more this year because I think they're going to see how successful they were, and with the beefed-up offensive line running the football last year. They ran the ball, on average, 7 more times a game the last 8 games last year. We saw how much more success the offense had. So why wouldn't you do that for an entire 16-game season? So I think Barkley's going to get fed even more. I think he's going to 1,450, 1,500 yards for Barkley at least this year on the ground.
Hey, you saw my video. I predict him to win the rushing title this year.
Yeah.
And think about that. The last 8 games, this offense was a lot better. They lost 3 games they shouldn't have lost. They should have been 7-1 in the last 8 games. So they could have been 7-1. They should have beat the Colts, should have beat the Eagles, should have beat the Cowboys. They really should have been 7-1. And this was with Chad Wheeler, the worst run-blocking lineman in the league. Now Mike Remmers is over there, back to his natural spot. Now we upgraded a right guard. Now, Jamon Brown did a very nice job for us, but he's not Kevin Zeitler. Will Hernandez has a year under his belt, and you saw Will Hernandez, Nate Solder build a lot of chemistry. And you get Jalapeno back at center. The Giants' offensive line's a lot better. There's no reason, like you said, no reason to think that Saquon Barkley can't lead the league in yards, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think he's going to. One thing I will say about Barkley, I think his catches could be slightly down this year, because I think
which is fine.
Which we want. We don't want him to have 90 catches because that means we're throwing a lot of checkdowns. We want him to have 75, 80 catches, but 92 or whatever you had. No, I'd rather him get about 70, 75.
70 is fine.
Yeah,
60 to 70 catch.
Yeah,
I'd rather you feed him the ball 20 more times in the backfield, take 20 less receptions away from him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And the other thing I want to see from Barkley this year, I want to see him use more on wheel routes, more on plays down the field. I'd like to see him use more as a deep threat in the receiving game. He, of course, caught that ball thrown by Beckham. That was a well-drawn-up play. But plays like that, where you use him more, not just for screen passes, you use him more as a wide receiver.
Well, they did that in Tampa when Eli Manning missed the throw.
When he missed the throw,
that was the one incompletion he had, but that was on a wheel route, and Barkley found himself wide open behind the defense. Because there is no corner or safety. There's definitely no safety in the league that's covering Saquon Barkley. But when this guy comes out of the backfield with all that momentum and the corner is flat-footed, he's going to run right past him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nobody's guarding him. Nobody's guarding him. Once again, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been here. If you have not done so, please go into the link. We will be, well, no, we're still doing it once a week next week, but soon we're going to be doing it twice a week. Next week, we will be on Bad Dog's channel. So if you want to watch the show, it's going to be on his channel. And then starting preseason, we'll be doing it on each other's channel every week. So, every week. Please go in there. Please sub this guy up. He works really hard on YouTube, and he deserves it.
Thank you, sir. I agree with Jeffrey. I mean, this is Jeffrey. You and I we disagree a lot, much like I do with Cruz on 26. But I couldn't agree with you more. He says the first thing I'll be looking at is the O-line come preseason. That is something I pay attention to every year. Is that offensive line?
Especially this year. This year with the second year of Hernandez, with Zeitler, with Remmers. I'm going to have a big focus on how the offensive line plays in those preseason games and how the holes are and everything else. So that's what I'm. It might sound boring. I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to most this year.
It's important though.
It's the most important thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm subscribed to both. Yeah, we appreciate that too, Tough Man. What's going on, New York Giants? Thank you for popping in. Remmers better be good. Don't expect Remmers to light up the league, right?
Yeah, he's not going to be a Pro Bowler, but if he's average, that's huge, Russ.
Well, he played out of position last year. That's one thing I want to reiterate. He was one of the worst graded guards in football last year, but he's not a guard. He's a tackle.
And think about who we had over there right tackle last year. Chad Wheeler, awful. Right. We had Eric Flowers, horrible. We've had Bobby Hart over there, horrible. The Giants have not had a good right tackle. Maybe DJ Fluker was another one. Horrible. We have not had a good right tackle in God knows how long. If Remmers is average, huge upgrade.
Huge upgrade. And I just want to say thank you to Corey Lewis. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I'd like to see Saquon Barkley on special teams, to be honest.
Too much of a risk.
Yeah, I get where you're going with that. He's super explosive. I could use him in special teams in specific situations, right? End of the game, you need a big play in the punt return game, kick return game, but on a consistent basis, I agree with you. Too big of a risk. And it's not like they don't have guys that can be. Corey Coleman, like we said, was great last year in the return game. But I get where you're going. Of course, you want to use Barkley as much as you can.
He did return kicks at Penn State, so
right.
I get it, but I don't think you want to overexpose Barkley.
Right.
I mean, I look at what Jason Seahorn is one of the best corners in the league, and he tore his ACL returning kicks against the Jets in the preseason of '98 because we were looking for offense. Because our offense sucked. Because Ken Graham and Dave Brown were our quarterbacks, and we couldn't move the ball, so they were trying anything they could to find a way to score, and it screwed up Jason Seahorn's career when he was one of the best corners. So that really worries me. There's a lot of injuries on kickoff returns. Barkley, I'd just rather him. Just being.
I definitely get the thought, though. I mean, like you said.
Supposed to play on our team.
Yeah, great kick returner in college.
It's too big of a risk,
Do you guys think Slayton will have a big year his rookie season last year, I ask? No, not really, but I think he could. If he gets that third receiver role, I mean, what do you qualify as a big season? I'm not expecting him to catch for 800 yards, but if he could be an important part of the offense because he can stretch the field and he can have a few big plays. So I do like Slayton, but I'd be surprised if he has more than 400 or 500 yards.
Yeah. Stephen Pope, what's going on from across the pond, my man? How you doing?
Stephen Pope is great. Love Stephen Pope.
Jeffrey Abbey says, Bad Dog is one hell of a sportsman. I get that a lot. Uncle Lou calls me in Sports Encyclopedia. I retain a lot of that crap. Couldn't tell you what I had for breakfast this morning, but I can tell you a play from 1989 like it was yesterday.
You can probably tell me every Yankees batting average from the 1992 team.
No, I couldn't. I blocked that one out of my mind. That was a bad team. Well, I will say this. Talking about the Yankees real quick. I'll never forget this because it's my mother's birthday. It was July 17th, 1989. We had a surprise birthday party for her. She was 35. And it was at her stepfather's house. And I was inside watching the Yankee game.
Right.
And Bo Jackson hit 3 homers in that game. Deion Sanders had an inside the park home run where he jumped over the catcher and didn't touch home plate, but jumped back and touched it. And then Bo Jackson actually got hurt on that play. Bo Jackson hit a home in his first 3 at-bats. Then he went diving, full extension to get Deion Sanders' ball. It got past Bo Jackson, and Deion scored a touchdown. Listen to me. Scored a run.
Right.
And I never forgot that. It was a crazy game. That's the 5th anniversary of that freaking game. And, of course, the Yankees lost because they were terrible in 1990.
That's pretty crazy. Two sport athletes playing against each other in the same game.
That's why it was special. I mean, because, like I said, Bo had 3 homers. Deion had the inside the park homer, and Bo Jackson actually got hurt on Deion Sanders. So Bo Jackson didn't get a chance to hit the 4th homer. But I never forgot that game. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Let's see. The Giants' defense is full of rookies, and I believe the Giants are still going to play good this year, Angel Rodriguez says. I love the optimism. I think I'm going to say this. This team is going to play hard. They're not going to quit. They're going to be hungry. I'll say that. I don't know if they're going to be good or not, but we will be proud of this team this year. You're not going to, in my opinion, we'll see.
I agree.
You're not going to see games where the Giants quit like they have the last few years. Not that they quit so much last year, but the year before, it was horrible the way that they quit on that team, that 3-13 team. This team is going to fight every single week. I really do believe that.
Jeffrey Abbey, happy belated birthday to you. He says his birthday was the 16th, so happy belated birthday to you. Mine is like a week from Friday, so yeah, we're all good there.
Happy birthday there, Jeff.
New York for Life 12 says, do you guys feel some kind of way when people call us the Jersey Giants instead of the New York Giants? It's just bad. It's a lazy troll effort.
Yeah. We're the New York Giants. I don't care where we play. They're the New York Giants. It's
a lazy troll effort.
Yeah,
that is somebody that has no creativity to try and troll your channel.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a weak effort. Yeah. To say Jersey Giants. It's like you got nothing else. So especially when Cowboys fans say it, I said, okay, you're the Arlington Cowboys. I mean, you play in Arlington, you don't play in Dallas.
And what's the Tampa Bay Rays don't play in Tampa either. I learned that when I went there. They play in St. Petersburg. Yeah.
San Francisco plays in Santa Clara, so that's not the same.
Right.
So, there's a bunch of teams that don't play where their city says they play.
What are you expecting from Bethea at free safety this year, Tyler asks. Bethea this year, I think they brought in Bethea. I think he could be okay. Last year, I think PFF graded him right around an average starting safety in the league. Hopefully he could be that. But I think they brought him in more for leadership and locker room culture than anything else. He's been around the league for a long time. He's known as a good leader. That's what I think his biggest role is going to be on this team. One of the leaders in the locker room. Something that the Giants desperately need. So yeah. That's why I think they brought him in more so than anything else.
Yeah. The Giants have a really good mixture of veterans and young guys. And again, people just don't want to see that the Giants are improving because they just, like I said, they just see the superstar names disappear and all of a sudden they think the Giants somehow can be worse than winning 8 games in the last 2 years. Not understanding that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting same results. So when you were rock bottom, you need to shake things up, and that's what Get did.
And and this is something that's very common in the NFL. When you have a general manager that comes in, he usually cleans house because those guys were not his guys. He didn't bring any of those guys in. He's cleaning house, and he's bringing in the guys that he wants to bring in. And as fans, we have to give him that opportunity. You can't jump down. As much as I hated, and I like Daniel Jones, I want to keep saying that, but I do not like where we took him. But at the end of the day, obviously I was very emotional on draft night, but at the end of the day, he's the general manager. He made the decision. We're fans. We have to hope it works out, and you got to give him that opportunity to see how it plays out before we jump down his throat.
Yeah. Nobody did a quicker 180 or a more violent 180 than me with Daniel Jones. Right. Nobody went more 180 than I did.
Right.
I went from hating this to where I thought my head was going to explode like scanners when we drafted him to now I'm all about this kid, and I think that he's a lot better than people think he is. And I just can't wait. I just love the haters. Hate away. He sucks. He's a career backup. Blah, blah, blah. And then he's going to have one huge year, and he's going to win a Super Bowl, and then I'm going to say, what? What? And then they're going to bring up my draft video. They're going to go, look at you, and I'm going to say, yep.
I hope I look like a fool. I want to look like a fool.
Yep. Doesn't matter. I've retracted that. I'll be like, whatever. Go watch the 40 other videos I have pumping him up.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jeffrey says, what do you think Daniel Jones brings to a team? Eli brings toughness, IQ, work ethic, and durability. Daniel Jones, I have no clue about him. Great question, Jeffrey Abbey. Okay, the first thing I'm going to point on, he definitely brings IQ. Daniel Jones, very smart quarterback. You see it on film.
Yes.
He also, I think, is built very well for the New York media. I don't think he's going to be this rah-rah guy. I think he's going to be a good leader when it comes to, not so much an in-your-face leader, but a leader by example and a guy that's not going to say anything wrong to the media, much like Eli. I think they're very similar in those ways. I also think Daniel Jones is a very underrated athlete. He's going to be able to make plays on the run. He's going to be able to bring that RPO part to the game with the Saquon Barkley that is very dangerous. And I think even though his college stats may not indicate it, because of how poor his offensive line was and wide receivers were, I think he could be a very accurate quarterback at the pro level. Where I worry about Daniel Jones, especially playing in the Meadowlands, he does not MetLife, but he does not have superior arm strength. Eli Manning definitely had better arm strength coming into the pros than Daniel Jones does, and that's one area where I do worry with Daniel Jones. But I do think he has a lot of good intangibles, and that's what I would say about him.
For me, definitely the biggest thing I noticed immediately when I watched film was his athleticism. He ran for 17 touchdowns at Duke behind a crappy offensive line and no running game and no NFL talent around him. There was 38 drop passes. He was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the country on deep ball passes. And this is something that's there. He was 5th in the country against the blitz. And Daniel Jones, if you look at the film, will stand in there and take a pop and deliver a strike. He's not afraid to get hit. Daniel Jones, whereas Dwayne Haskins fails at this. Dwayne Haskins does not like to get hit. And Dwayne Haskins was not good with pressure in his face. He doesn't throw the ball well. Daniel Jones does. I think that was the biggest difference that I saw. But Haskins has a much better arm. Yeah. I know we're not talking about Haskins, but I'm just saying comparatively that was something I noticed Daniel Jones that had that Haskins didn't. But again, Daniel Jones is a smart guy. He picked up the playbook like that. Players seem to respond to him. The media said that his arm strength is a lot better than initially thought, but that's still a question.
Right.
Like you said, the Meadowlands, the middle of December, the wind's blowing 25 miles an hour. Can Daniel Jones throw that 15-yard out into too deep coverage? That's the question. Can he hit that pass?
Right.
Not the 40-yard pass down the field. Can he hit that 15-yard out to the sideline
against the wind?
3rd and 12
right.
in the middle of December? That is the biggest question.
Let me answer this because I see Nibba says he's asked this question 9 times and he's about to pull his hair out. So let me get to your question. He says, what do you guys think about the secondary? DeAndre Baker, Sam Beal, slot corner Grant Haley, free safety Julian Love, strong safety Jabril Peppers. Okay. Julian Love at the free safety, we'll see. I personally think he could be the slot corner for this year's team. I think he will be the slot corner for this year's team. Him and Haley are going to battle that out. I think that they brought in Bethea to start. I think Bethea is going to be the starter on this year's team. Now, we did hear that he does have that ability to play both the safety and the corner in the future. So it is very possible for next year's team, if they decide to cut Bethea, who I don't even think carries a dead cap hit, Julian Love could be the safety. But for this year's team, I do not think he will be a safety. And then you said top 3 secondary in a year, meaning next year. I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but I think they are going to be a very good secondary in no less than 2 years.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think I mentioned with the Julian Love thing, I think it's easier to go from corner to safety than vice versa. I think you try him at corner, and then if he fails there, you move him to safety. It's harder to play corner. Jason Sehorn is one of the few guys I've ever seen move from safety to corner. Rod Woodson moved from corner to safety, and it prolonged his career. So, that's something I can definitely see. But, yeah, they brought in Bethea to play him.
Right.
And Peppers, that's going to be your safeties going into this year. But it'll be very interesting. That's one of our favorite battles, both of us, is the cornerback slots. They are – a lot of young guys are very hungry. Grant Haley played very well for this team last year. Very underrated in the secondary. And there's another young guy. He was a rookie last year. We got 5 extremely young corners and a young safety.
He was undrafted, wasn't he? He was undrafted, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was undrafted.
Yeah.
He played at Penn State. I forgot where he played. I thought he played at Penn State. I could be wrong about that, but I thought he played over there.
What's going on, Ham? Thank you for popping in. Eli seems like a nice guy, but he's fight dirty and Afghanistan. Yeah, Eli's got some toughness to him. We've seen that in the past. We talked. Muted my mic by accident. He don't. He's got a tough side to him, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true.
Saquon Barkley is the reincarnation of Walter Payton. He's the most talented player we've had on this team since LT. I agree.
Yeah,
you're not going to hear me argue with that, Sean Grimes.
Definitely agree.
He's a once-in-a-20-year back. I mean, that's how good this guy is. I mean,
faster, stronger, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, I say combination of Peterson and Barry. That's what I always say. I'm not going to say he's as good as those guys yet. He's got to prove it. But in terms of talent and skill set, he has that type of potential.
The only reason I say LaDainian Tomlinson is because he could catch. Peterson and Barry Sanders are not really known for their reception ability. You throw it to them once in a while, but that's not your game. Saquon Barkley can do everything like LaDainian. LaDainian Tomlinson was shifty, but he moves. But yeah, it's like I said, he's a bigger, stronger Tomlinson, but he moves like Barry Sanders. He's ridiculous. You take all the best running backs ever, and you throw their best talents, and then you made Saquon Barkley. It's like twins. Like twins, they have all the guys shooting in there. They take all the good stuff out of every guy, and they make Arnold.
Right.
Barkley.
Right.
They took all the greatest running backs in the history of football, and he threw it in a cup, and they.
He's the perfect. He's the perfect specimen, on and off the field.
Yes.
Great leadership. Yeah, exactly, Jeffrey. Just what I was alluding to. Great leadership. Tyler says, "What are your guys' thoughts on Rosas? He had a great." Rosas was 31 of 32 last year. Great year. Now I will say kickers are kind of like bullpens in baseball. They're kind of year to year, unless you're like an Adam Vinatieri. But so we'll see. Hopefully he does just as good. If he was one of the few.
He was our MVP in
bright
offense
spots,
outside Barkley.
And it's never good to have a kicker be your MVP on offense.
No.
But he was great last year, and why not? Why can't he do it again? Hey Chris, what do you think the Giants what do you think of the Giants offense this season? And I'm gonna let Bad Dog answer. What's going on, Benny Breeze? Thank you for popping in, buddy. The Giants offense
from Penn State. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries. I think the Giants offense has the capability, again, not picking this, to be a fringe top 10 offense in football this year. I think they have that capability.
Aren't they? Somebody rated them, I think, eighth.
Yeah, most talented, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's going to come out of the offensive line. If that offensive line's for real, they're going to be a good offense.
People seem to forget last year, Giants had the most points in our division. We scored the most points out of any team in this division. Our problem was we gave up over 400 points in defense. We will not do that this year.
I hope not.
Not with that secondary. We're not going to give up 230 points, but we're not going to give up 420. We might give up 350, but that's a big improvement.
And our offensive line, I always say this, our offensive line might be the best part of our defense, because if we can control the clock, it's going to keep the defense fresh. So ball control, time of possession, that has to be the focal point of this offense this year. And they definitely have the weaponry to be able to accomplish that, in my opinion.
Yes.
No pass rush equals no defense. Sean Grimes says, I agree. They need to get a pass rush. They need Lorenzo Carter to step up. They need Golden to step up. They need B.J. Hill. They need guys to get after the quarterback. I mean, last year, B.J. Hill had 5.5 sacks. He was second in the team. That can't happen.
Yeah.
You gotta get sacks in this league. You absolutely do. I agree. I can't. I'm not gonna argue with you on that.
Did John Letourneau wants to know if you saw his last super chat?
Did I miss a super chat?
He said, "Yeah, I don't know if you saw the one that says, sorry guys, I want the Eagles, or I want the Giants to stink." No, he said, I want the Eagles to stink. I want the Eagles to stink. He said, sorry guys, I want the Giants to stink. Go Eagles.
Oh, I apologize, John, if I missed it. My apologies. Thank you for everything tonight. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to tell you, John, I want the Eagles to stink. Go Giants.
Freudian slip when I read that.
But it is allowed. We've been on for a while. We'll go a little longer, man. We'll go a little longer. We need linebackers, man. This is why our defense is so terrible. We've needed linebackers for ever. And Jerry Reese neglected that position
His whole tenure.
He never drafted linebackers. And Ogletree last year was disappointing. We both. I know you liked him too. I liked him going into the season. Was not good at coverage. Better
the second half.
He had some good game. I mean, the Bears game.
The Bears game.
Yeah, he was ridiculous.
He led the team in interceptions.
He did. Kind of. A lot of those interceptions were kind of lucky, but that Bears game, I will say, both those interceptions. He Beckham one, and then he had the one right on the goal line for the. That was crazy, man. Yeah, linebacker's a big problem. It's been a big problem.
The New York Giants have not drafted a linebacker in the first round since Carl Banks in 1984. That's 35 years. That's when I started watching the Giants. That's the last time they took a linebacker in the first round.
That's crazy.
That's how much they've neglected that position.
That's crazy.
And think about it. When they drafted Carl Banks, they had Harry Carson, Hall of Famer. Lawrence Taylor, greatest linebacker, greatest defensive player, maybe the greatest football player ever. They had those two guys in that linebacker spot, and they had Gary Reasons there. So, did they need Carl Banks? No. Did they draft Carl Banks? Yes.
Well, it's kind of like when the Giants drafted Jason Pierre-Paul. Did they need Jason Pierre-Paul? No. Nope. They were strong there. I remember everybody was mad at them when they took Jason Pierre-Paul, but he helped us win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
So
and Banks helped us win too.
Yeah. Hold on, Bad Dog just popped off the screen. That's never good. I just hung up. Did I just hang up on you, Bad Dog? I hope I didn't. Hold on 1 second. I did by accident. Let me pop him back in. Oh my God. Sorry about that, guys. That's what happens. Let me call him right back. Two entertainers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me call him right back. Sorry about that, guys. Uh-oh. Says Sal isn't online. Oh, no. Bad Dog, if you hear me, you call me. Some reason it's not going through for you. I think Bad Dog maybe fell offline. Maybe he fell offline. I don't know. I'm trying to call him. Sorry about that, guys. I'll talk to the chat, though. Well, only a cable guy does that. I will talk to the chat. Double Tina, that's right. Yes, I am using Skype, AJ Marshall. I am using... Oh, here we go. Here we go. I don't know what that was about, but I think we got Bad Dog back. I apologize about that, guys.
Technical difficulties.
And now he's got the green screen. Oh, no, he doesn't. We're still good with that. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, Bad Dog. And I forgot what we were talking about.
I got raided. They finally came after me. Finally got me. The Eagle fans found me.
He got hit with a couple of shovels. But, guys, we're going to be live for about, 10 more minutes. So go ahead and throw out those questions. We talked a lot of Giants tonight. We talked some preseason football. We talked some training camp. We talked Baker Mayfield. I want to tell you, I had a guy call last night. I love him, Ronaldo. Big Jet fan, big troll. Trolls you, too. Told me that he still says that the Giants are fools for taking Barkley over Darnold.
Yeah, I don't know who Ronaldo is, but yeah, the Giants were 5-11 with Barkley, and the Jets were 4-12 with Darnold. You pick third, we pick sixth.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
John Schmidt, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I went to Penn State University. I can't believe Haley went undrafted. He was our number one cornerback and was the second-rated cornerback, rookie cornerback this year, only behind Ward. Happy he's getting props. Yeah, he played great. Yeah, he played great.
And I can't believe I knew he went to Penn State.
Did he drop out again? Guys, I don't know what's going on. Bad Dog's dropping out. I don't know what's going on, guys. Maybe Bad Dog's got, I think he's getting hacked. Oh, there we go.
Killing me here. You're killing me.
I don't know what happened there, but I didn't touch nothing that time.
Going after me today. But no, as I was saying, I can't believe I know he went to Penn State. Sometimes I knew more than I think I do. I don't know. What else was I going to say? I forget what that was. Grant Haley played great. I forgot what it was. It was something.
Yeah, we were talking about Haley. 8-23 combine record last 2 seasons. That sucked. Oh yeah, the Giants have been horrible the last 2 years. Nobody's gonna tell you otherwise. Bad Dog's Wi-Fi is on the.
No, my Wi-Fi is good. It's Skype.
Yeah, it must be Skype. It must be Skype. HTTR, by the way, go over there and check his channel out. I've been meaning. It's so busy. I got to go over there and check out more of his content. Great YouTuber over there, Redskins.
Yes, he is.
Let's see what he got here. Bad Dogs. What's 12 times 36?
12 times 36, 360, 72, so 432.
There you go. We got Rain Man over here. Will Eli have a better year with this new O-line and a better scheme fit? Yeah, I think he could. I definitely think he could. I mean, last year, the second half of the season, he played much better. It's all going to come down to the offensive line for everything. If the offensive line is as advertised, Eli's going to be better. Barkley's going to be better. It's the offensive line. That's what's going to drive this offense.
Right. Yeah. If Jones plays good in the preseason, should he start week 1? I don't think he's going to start week 1. Barring injury, there's no way Jones starts week 1.
No way.
I can't see it happening. No matter how good he plays. I hope that Daniel Jones makes Eli look horrible. And not because I want Eli to be bad, because I want Daniel Jones to be that good. Because Daniel Jones is the future of this team, not Eli Manning.
I agree that
Manning to have one great last hurrah, but I want to see Daniel Jones outperform him so that I know we've now improved him.
I want Daniel Jones to be unbelievable. I'd love to see Eli on the bench and Daniel Jones performing out of his mind because he's the future. But Eli's starting the year. I think we both agree on that.
Especially in Dallas. There's no way to put DJ in there.
No. Sam asks, if we were to add Wagner and Clowney next year, can we be a top 5 defense in the league? That would be a huge step up.
Enormous. Yes.
Yeah, we could be. I'm not saying we will, but we definitely could. Dave, thank you so much. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. Finish.
No, I was just going to say because of the secondary. I think that's a big reason.
The secondary, and then you had
a secondary that can lock down receivers, and you got a Bobby Wagner and a Jadeveon Clowney to go with a Lorenzo Carter and a B.J. Hill and a Dexter Lawrence.
Marcus Golden still potentially on the team. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dayman. He says, how many sacks for big Dexter Lawrence this year? He's a lot better pass rusher. I completely agree with that. For a big man, that guy can move. And I think he's going to play on the outside, not the outside linebacker, but I think he's going to play someone on the DN. They've been saying that in the OTAs and the mandatory minicamps. They were lining him up out there. So I think he's going to play both a little bit in and out. I could see him doing what B.J. Hill did last year, 5.5, 6 sacks.
I was going to say 6 sacks.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see him playing 6 sacks, getting 6 sacks.
Let's see what we got here. Hey, Chris, can you do a Jones-Barkley video? What do you mean by a Jones-Barkley video? I don't know what you mean by that, City, for real. A Jones-Barkley video. Do you mean a Barkley film breakdown video? Is that what you're asking? And if you want me to, I'll do whatever you guys want me to. I always say that. I think Clowney will be on the Giants next season. I have a good feeling. He could be. He fits the system. I don't think they'll franchise tag him again.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just not giving him a long-term deal. That I know. He is not getting an extension. Giants fan says Daniel Jones is amazing in preseason. When does he start? It's all predicated on the New York Giants record. I made that video about when Daniel Jones starts over Eli. Personally, if we're 8-2, Eli stays in there. I think if we're 5-5 or worse at the break, I think that's when you bring him in there. Because if you're 5-5, you're probably not a Super Bowl contender. Get Daniel Jones the experience after the bye. Let him play 6 games. Let him get acclimated to NFL speed, NFL defenses. Let him learn schemes. Let him learn the system. Then you bring in more talent around him in 2020, and he starts with a fresh slate with some NFL experience under his belt, and you're fresh for 2020. I'd rather him get the mistakes out of the way, and then we bring him in, and he's learned something.
We say it all the time.
We did it with Eli Manning in 2004.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Took the words right out of my mouth. And that served Eli a world of good. Even though he played horrible, he learned. Yep. And that's the mindset Giants fans have to have, too. If Daniel Jones comes in, if he doesn't play well, it's baby steps. He's got to learn. He's got to take his lumps.
There are very few rookie quarterbacks that come in and light the world on fire. Carson Wentz was bad his rookie season.
Jared Goff was awful.
Jared Goff was terrible. Yeah. Jared Goff didn't look like he belonged in the NFL.
Yeah. And then next year he's a Pro Bowler.
Peyton Manning was terrible his rookie season.
Yeah.
You know?
Can't judge a quarterback until his second year. Can't judge a quarterback.
Your rare guys are your guys that take you by surprise. Your Dak Prescotts. Nobody studied for Dak Prescott because Tony Romo was the starter. Dak was a 4th-round pick. He was an afterthought. Tony Romo got hurt. Dak was forced into action. Nobody studied Dak.
Right.
So Dak was able to do his thing. People got film on him. He struggled his second year. Robert Griffin III, the same thing. Nobody knew what to expect from RG3.
I was going to bring up RG3 because obviously he was unbelievable his rookie year, but I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that he was not your typical pocket passer, and the offense was built around his skill set. Yep. Same thing with Russell Wilson.
Alfred Morris had 1,600 yards his rookie season. That also helped Robert Griffin. It helped Alfred Morris, yeah.
But Alfred Morris I think that whole RPO that they initiated with that offense, I think it helped both of them.
Absolutely.
Let's see what we got here. If Daniel Jones does really bad, should we trade him like the Cardinals traded Rosen and try to take Tua? No way. They're not going to do that. They're going to give Daniel Jones a few years. Because for one, like we just said, just look at Eli Manning, his first year. He came in the last 7 games, was it? And he
was
played,
1-6.
He played horrible. So
he threw for 48.7% was his completion percentage. And he was 1-6.
Yeah.
And he threw more interceptions than touchdowns by a lot. He might have thrown 6 touchdowns and like 15 picks. It was something stupid.
The only reason that Rosen was traded, in my opinion, is because the Cardinals are a dysfunctional organization.
Yeah. I'll tell you another rookie quarterback. And again, this is a totally different era.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong about this stats. Terry Bradshaw, his rookie season, I think, threw 2 touchdowns and 24 interceptions. It was something ridiculously stupid like that. It was, 5. I think he threw 5 touchdowns and 24 picks. Look it up. I'm not sure.
I'll have to
5
look.
touchdowns, 24 interceptions for Terry Bradshaw in 1971. I'm almost sure, but that just tells you how bad some of these guys are in the rookie season.
It takes you can't. They always say you can never
step up.
You can never judge a quarterback till year 2. And Vladimir Putin, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, which one of y'all getting the 10K subs for?
Chris is.
We're both are.
He pulls away from me every day. But we are both getting there.
We're both gonna get there. Who cares? I don't care who gets there first. We're gonna get much higher than 10K. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we're helping each other out. So that's
what it's all about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just want to answer West Coast because I've seen him ask this at least 3 or 4 times. He says, "What is the Giants' ceiling and floor record-wise?" Floor 5-11, ceiling 9-7. I think we're between 5 and 9 wins. That's kind of where I put it.
I'll go 5 and 10. I'll be a little more optimistic, but no more than 10. I'll go 5 and 10, and I'm expecting 7 or 8.
That's right. I expect them to be 7 and 9, 8 and 8. That's what I expect.
Let's see what we got here. Rookies of the year are never busts. You're talking to somebody in the chat. Do you think that Nelson Aguilar is better than Sterling Shepard? Because I don't.
No, Aguilar's not better than Sterling Shepard.
Sterling Shepard has upside. Sterling Shepard, I think, could be a top 15 receiver in the league. I'm not saying he will. He's had drop problems. He still has not produced at the level that we thought he could when we drafted him, but he definitely has a lot of potential.
He's gonna have a breakout season.
He's
got everything together now.
Yeah.
There's no more Beckham to take passes away from him. He's got a contract.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know if his kid had something because he had I don't know if it was a son or a daughter, but he had a child last year. And I think he's starting with a fresh thing. He's got Golden Tate there, who's a good leader. 6 touchdowns, 24 picks. Okay,
thank you very much for the super chat, John Smith.
I knew it was bad.
And it was 1970. You said 71, Bad Dog.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna be strict with you.
I was off by 1 on each there. But he was Terry Bradshaw was terrible as you can see. So it happens.
And NFL Mix Lights, does Sterling Shepard a clip? Yes, I think he does. I think Shepard, if there is a receiver on this team that has a chance to have a 1,300-yard season, I think it's him.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting that. I think he's gonna have about 1,100 yards, but I think he is the one that is capable of having the mega year. Out of the 3 main weapons.
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of targets. They all go to Beckham. Then they all went to Barkley.
Yeah. And
Sterling Shepard still had 866 yards receiving.
Yeah. And he's gonna get a lot more targets this year.
Yeah, absolutely gonna. He had almost 900 yards receiving last year when Beckham and Barkley got 100. I think Beckham had 77 catches and Barkley had 91 or 92. So, I mean, you're talking 170 targets or 170 receptions for those 2 receivers.
Right. And we both said we think Saquon will be used less in the passing game this year, so that's more targets to go around. Who's the most underrated Giant this year? Well, we said Grant Haley was very underrated. Yep. I'd have to think about it, though. It's a good question. Maybe Hernandez? Maybe Hernandez could be really, really good this year. Maybe B.J. Hill? I don't know. That's a great question.
They're underrated. Maybe Dalvin Tomlinson.
Yeah.
I don't really know if these guys, I don't really know how they're rated to say they're underrated. They're so unproven, a lot of these guys, because they're so young. So it's hard to say who the most underrated Giant is going to be. I mean, if I had to pick, I'd say Janoris Jenkins, because he had such a bad year last year. He's got to do better. Right.
100%. Yeah. But, unbelievable, guys. This chat was filled this whole time. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. You get notifications every time we're live. go into the link in the description. Sub up Mr. Baddog 7676. We will be on his channel next week. So we appreciate everybody for being here. Training camp, we're just getting started, Baddog. We are getting started, man. And wait till we have actual football games, actual football to talk about. And it's going to start next week. It is going to start next week with training camp getting underway.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. One last thing. AMG Sam says, would you trade a second-round pick for the Texans for a Clowney? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have a good night, HTTR. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we're closing this out in a minute, guys.
I'm definitely ready. Like I said, when we do this show next week, we will have started training camp. So we will have a lot to talk about because we will have a day of training camp. The rookies will already have been there a couple days. So we'll actually have a lot of Giant stuff to discuss.
Yeah, and I'm going to put this down now. I want to say thank you to everybody that popped in. Eagles UK, Tim Mathis, Sky Poth BNG, Tommy H, AJ Marshall. I like your jersey, Chris. Where you get it from? I got it from Modell's. That's a New York sports store. Last Jedi, Ham, HTTR, Amsang, Andrew Mossberg, City for Real. Thank you to everybody. Kenneth Joseph, John Laterno. Oh, Darnell, thank you so much, man, for the super chat. He says some love. I appreciate that, man.
Darnell, big money.
Darnell's awesome, man. Love that guy. Always calls in on my call-in shows. Thank you so much for the super chat. When do we start the 20? Well, the rookies start on Monday, but the team starts on the 24th. Poppy Chulo chat says, stand up, King Trizzy, man. Have a great night, buddy. Baddog.
Psychopath BNG said, cool show y'all got, better. Thank you, Psychopath. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we
appreciate
do.
that
we
very
do.
much.
We do. And Baddog, man, we always have fun doing this show, man.
Absolutely. It's my favorite thing I do on YouTube.
Yeah,
I enjoy making videos. I enjoy streaming games, but I'll tell you what, I've been streaming a lot of games lately, and I really have been enjoying making the videos.
Videos are fun, man. Videos are fun.
It's been a lot of fun because I got this behind me now, so it makes it a lot more fun to mess around that. But it's I enjoy doing the football stuff, and I think I've been able to do more football, so it's been more enjoyable. But I'll be streaming a couple games, but definitely not like I used to. So
yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. Always love when you come on. Always love doing the show. I appreciate everybody that showed up. All my subscribers, all Bad Dog subscribers. Hopefully you guys join both channels. And we'll be doing it again next week, man. And soon we're going to be doing this twice a week. We're going to have too much to talk about. We're going to have to do 2 shows. So, Bad Dog, man, I always let you close it out. Thank you again for coming on the channel and doing the show. As
always, I appreciate you having me on your channel. And like Chris said, we couldn't do this without you guys. We love you guys. We had over 140 people in here without anything going on in NFL. So we expect it to just keep going. When we have a lot to talk about, it'll be awesome to get your opinions. We love hearing from you. Love your questions. We really appreciate all your contributions and support and everything. That, like I said, we wouldn't have this without you guys. So it is much, much appreciated. Words can't describe how much we appreciate you guys. So thank you to you guys. Chris, thank you to you for having me on the channel. And as always, guys, have a great night. And we are gone. Peace.
Have a good night, everybody. Have a good night.